power. People wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo.
Good day everyone and welcome back to my show. My name is Zainab and with me today I have Maiyegun in the studio and I also have Comrade Lawson Olu-Martins who are going to be doing some explanation for me on today's Explain This show. So Maiyegun, can you introduce yourself again please?
Thanks for having me again, Zainab. This is Maiyegun General, that guy, as I would love to always say. So it's been a pleasure back again, having something to explain. Now with
so Comrade Lawson Olu-Martins.
Thank you so much, Zainab, and good afternoon, everybody. And my name is Comrade Lawson Olu-Martins, and I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you. You're welcome. So, Comrade Lawson Olu-Martins, my first question goes to you. What can you say about the 6 Nigerians that were convicted in United Arab Emirates for funding the Boko Haram terrorists?
One thing I would say first, all thanks to the United Arab Emirates, because it had felt like the sponsors of the Boko Haram are spiritual, because in the last 10 or 12 years, the Boko Haram have been terrorizing Nigeria. CBN has never said anything about it. We have some of the best intelligence according to the Nigerian government. They've not said anything about it, but at least it's a good thing that we've now seen that there are few Northerners who are actually sponsoring this terrorist in Nigeria. And the funniest part is, one of the governors is even lobbying to get them released. So I would say thank you to the United Arab Emirates for revealing those people to the world.
Yeah. So Maiyegun, do you think there's any, maybe because they have been convicted since 2019 and we are just knowing now into 2020, what do you think? Do you think there's any something behind that?
Well, I wouldn't put it that way, okay? The exposure, all over the world, the whole world, it's only in Nigeria where we negotiate with terrorists, okay? So the rest of the world, they hunt them down. So we know, before Buhari came to power, we had some terrorists, some Boko Haram campaigners who were arrested. I remember the bombers of the Catholic Church in Maraba in Abuja. So they got, I remember Kabiru Shokoto. These are people who were arrested for committing terrorism in Nigeria. But when Buhari came in, we were expecting them to help us expose the sponsors, the financiers of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Like my big brother, yes, just mentioned. We never had those reports from the intelligence reports in Nigeria. The agency in Nigeria who were supposed to track crime before they happen, we call them the SSS. So for 5 years, let's base that on 5 years. 2015, these guys were arrested in Dubai in collaboration with those who were in charge of Nigerian security at the time. So they got arrested in Dubai, and in fact, from the report we had, they would have been extradited to Nigeria for trial. But because of the change in government at the time, and I'm glad they didn't, by the way, because they would have been released. Kabiru Shokoto has been released in Nigeria, and since then, we've never had anybody arrested, tried for anything terrorism in Nigeria. So, yes, it's a great thing that this happened, and we hope that if Nigeria genuinely had been probing the sponsors of Boko Haram, this guy spent almost $1 million to Nigeria through our banking system, and nobody could trace that. Dubai was able to do that, right? Because they have a working system. And I hope, I'm not hoping, let me just be honest, right? Because we know how the system works in Nigeria, but I wish that Nigeria or Nigeria government dedicates more time or show more interest in curbing and preventing terrorism in Nigeria genuinely, like they are hunting down NSAS protesters right now.
Do you think they should be brought back to Nigeria and be convicted in Nigeria? Because now the Senate are requesting the prosecutions of these people.
Is that for me to answer? There is no way they are bringing them to Nigeria, forget it. Those guys were tried under the United Arab Emirates law. They were tried under the international law that, you know, because this is transnational crime now. They were based in Dubai, and they were transferring money to Nigeria to perpetrate crime. So they have been tried in Dubai. They are going to serve their life sentences in Dubai. Yes, they were convicted last year. They were found guilty last year, but they were convicted. So it's not like whereby when they find you guilty, they find you guilty and all of that. So conviction or judgment is just what was delivered just now, and they will spend the rest of their lives in jail. Meanwhile, even under the United Arab Emirates law, they still have right to appeal, but they won't win. Forget it. Maybe the ones that are supposed to spend life in prison will still spend life in prison, but they may I don't know if the parole law works there. I don't know, but they should just rot there. Who wants them back in Nigeria? If they get to Nigeria, they will be freed. They will be celebrated because they will be repentant. And once you repent, Nigeria will save you and will reward you too. Nigeria reward bad behavior. And if we have any reasonable country doing the job for us, great. It is in Nigeria where CBN cannot trace the bank account of those who stole money in Nigeria, right? They cannot trace the account of those who are doing illicit business in Nigeria, including the criminal politicians. But look at how long it took the Dubai police to track down Hush Puppy. It took them just about 6 months. They were watching him until they got him. And when they got him, it was easier for them to hand him over to the American authority. So we shouldn't be looking for the Senate. Everybody saying anything in Nigeria. They're just the usual criminal organization that are currently taking over Nigeria. So they will want terrorists to come back so that they can rehabilitate them. They rehabilitate terrorists and they hunt down activists. That's the sad situation we are in.
So, Comrade Lawson Olu-Osage, do you think DJ Switch moving to Canada and claiming asylum in Canada is the right choice? And besides, she didn't make that a secret. Everyone in Nigeria now knows that she's claiming asylum in Canada. Do you think it should have been kept a secret?
In the first place, there shouldn't be any reason for any citizen to run out of their country to go seek asylum anywhere. Okay? Particularly in a democratic dispensation, there should be zero reason for anybody to run away from the country or be scared of their life. At the worst, you can be sued. You go to the court, defend yourself, and if you find guilty, you serve your time. But that is not the case in Nigeria. DJ Switch, whether the case was made public or it was done in the private, the first thing is let's see what is the reason why she had to run for her life. Okay, the young lady who has done great by exposing the crime of the SSA, what do you want to call it, the Nigerian army and the police that came to kill innocent citizens, allegedly. Okay?
Yeah.
If we want to, if they have every right to say that it was a lie, because we can see a lot of the corpses, according to her, the corpses were all taken away. But you can see it was a live stream. If she had not done that, if she was not courageous enough to show the crime these people were committing on site,
Right.
today, she might have been dead. Okay? They found out in a way that this thing was actually being streamed. That was one of the things that really cautioned them. So if she hadn't gone to Canada to seek asylum, I want to speak to the Canadian government directly today. If you have not granted DJ Switch asylum, please grant her, because her life is in danger. There is no way you work against the Nigerian government for any reason, particularly exposing their crime as heinous as taking the life of innocent citizens who are protesting for their rights. Because those young men and young women of my age, people younger, even up to little kids, even grandparents were there. They were not rioters. They were demanding for rights to live in peace, a right to live in their own country. That is what they were demanding for. And the Nigerian army, with taxpayers' money, shot at these people and killed them. So if you have any reason to be delaying the Switch asylum process, please grant it to her, because she actually needs it.
Do you think if she had kept it a secret, it would have been better for her? Because people are saying nobody should know about this.
Our secrets, there is no law of secrecy in anything asylum. If you're seeking asylum, you are seeking asylum, it's because your life is in danger.
Right.
And even the country you are seeking the asylum from, or where you're seeking the asylum, they need some proof. They need some documentation, maybe national dailies from your country. Right. They need newspaper publications. They need even, these things are live. So they are not doing it in secret. What is your name? Can you just tell us your case? No.
Yeah.
They want evidence.
Evidence.
And the truth is, her life is actually in danger. I don't know her. I've never met her. Okay. But the truth is, her life is in danger.
Yeah.
So there's no crime in her making it public. It even helped the government to see, the Canadian government to see that this girl actually needs help, because there are hundreds of Nigerians who are crying and begging for her to get that asylum in that country.
Right. So the Central Bank of Nigeria are accusing the NSAS campaigners and NSAS promoters of being a terrorist in Nigeria. What can you say about that? Because we all know who the terrorists are in Nigeria. What can you say about it?
According to, during your introduction question, or your first question, you asked me about the the Arab Emirates and their sentencing or trial of the Boko Haram sponsors in their country. The CBN, in its own wisdom, in the last 12 years, did not find one single sponsor of Boko Haram. How could Boko Haram be operating in Nigeria since the inception of Boko Haram, and no single sponsor has been traced? All the weaponry, everything they do, all the operations cost money. Okay, they're not. I don't think they will be using any foreign banks. Even the good thing is, the investigation in Dubai now revealed to us that some money were being sent from that very country to Nigeria through CBN, the same central bank. But those money did not get captured by CBN. Then innocent citizens who are protesting for their rights. Look at those people on the streets. They're all graduates who have left university many years ago, and most of them could not get a job. Okay? So,
Yeah.
people asking for their own rights to live in peace in their own country, you want to label them terrorists? I mean, we must be slipping to something that's called anarchy.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what to call it. It's dictatorship. That is what Nigerians actually slipping into. Because even in the days of Abacha, it did not get as bad as this. I mean, of course, I could remember when Abacha came, used a lot of his style to come into the University of Ibadan to try and arrest some students. They never came in their uniform. They never even they never seized any students' finances or source of income.
Yeah.
Okay? They could come arrest you when you are protesting or use tear gas to disperse everybody, but CBN going in, is
They are
CBN a
also
police officer?
they are also freezing accounts of NSAS promoters.
Yeah, but by CBN, it's funny.
Yeah.
Because CBN is not supposed to be a police organization, it's a monetary organization, for God's sake. So what are they doing seizing people's money? Okay, so but if they have had antecedents, if they have had any history where they've been doing this, they've been working against terrorism, I mean, because Boko Haram has been in Nigeria for the last 12 years, if CBN have been exposing terrorist money, then we'll say, okay, wow, these people are working.
Okay,
But
yeah.
how on earth do you just spring up and you say a law was passed so that you can be able to use some kind of draconian kind of system to seize civilians' money? It's uncalled for.
Yeah. Maiyegun, what do you have to say about that?
Well, as they say, thank you, by the way, for that expository there, sir. As they say, you cannot shame the shameless.
Right.
People who are shameless, you cannot go about and say, I'm going to shame you with this. There is no law that Nigeria can go to anymore that will surprise people like us. The Central Bank of Nigeria, led by Emefiele, happened to be the cesspool of what is wrong with Nigeria to start with. When Buhari came to power, he accused Dasuki of stealing $2 billion meant for Boko Haram's weapon, to buy weapons for the Nigerian army. It was a lie. But what they didn't tell people then was that when Dasuki was arrested for stealing or looting the $2 billion meant for arms procurement, what they didn't tell you was the account where Dasuki was making those withdrawals was domiciled in the Central Bank of Nigeria. And who is the governor of the Central Bank at the time? Godwin Emefiele, the same guy. So when Buhari came in, arrested Dasuki because of the money traced into the bank account of so many other PDP members, including non-PDP members at the time, Emefiele was retained. He was not arrested. For all the money that Goodluck Jonathan said they spent fighting Boko Haram, it was Emefiele CBN that was releasing those money. When they now declared that the money were missing or stolen, including the 2.2 billion naira they paid for prayers to end Boko Haram, there's a man called Bafarawa, a former governor, who also collected about 5.6 billion naira to pray. He gathered prayer warriors all over the country to pray for the end of Boko Haram. All this money passed through the CBN. Our own Baba, Olufalaye, they gave him also about 2 billion naira. When Baba collected money, they said, Baba, take this money for Jonathan's second term. When Baba got back to Ondo, he declared 1 billion, kept 1 billion. When EFCC came and arrested people who collected part of the 1 billion, they said, Baba, how much? They gave you 2 billion. Baba said, yes, I kept 1 billion. It was when they came to arrest him that he confessed that, why am I telling you all of this? All this big money meant for security in Nigeria, to end terrorism in Nigeria, were shared through the CBN. Part of the money that was moved for Fayoshe's election in Ekiti was also moved through the CBN, where Obanikoro, the former state minister for defense under Goodluck Jonathan, Musili Obanikoro, moved the money in a chartered plane, cash, to Ondo State.
then transit the money through another truck, few trucks to Ekiti State. It was also part of the money meant for the security. So Emefiele was kept for a reason. He is a very, very good guy when it comes to looting. Last year, a video, in fact, an audio phone call between Emefiele and other members of the governing board of CBN came out, became public, a scandal, where Emefiele stole 500 billion naira that he couldn't account for, and they were looking for ways to bring it into the abridged audit of CBN the following year. So who is investigating who? So if you want to ask yourself, why is CBN unable to find traces of money laundering meant for Boko Haram, who is going to investigate who with all these examples I gave you?
Yeah.
They kidnapped Dapchi girls, over 100 girls in Dapchi in Yobe State in 2017 rather. When Laya Mohammed came out and said, we had no agreement with the Boko Haram to kidnap girls anymore after the Chibok girls kidnap. He said that, but people didn't pick that. They were not supposed to, in quote, like Mohammed said, they are not supposed to pick school to kidnap school girls anymore. But they did. What they didn't tell you, or what they came out to deny, was that before they returned those girls back to Dapchi in Yobe State and kept Leah Sharibu, which happened to be the girl that was never returned, Nigerian government paid 13.5 million euros to Boko Haram and ensured that some of the fighters that were kept in their custody at the time were released as a prisoner swap to release the Dapchi girls. 13.5 million euros was transferred to the Boko Haram members. Who would have traced that? Who made that money available? Who are those who did the negotiation? Go into that details. You will find out that those who are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria are no other people than the Central Bank of Nigeria, who is financing that. It takes its order from all those people in there. When Dasuki was arrested and prosecuted, or was being prosecuted for the Boko Haram funding or non-funding of Boko Haram war, Buratai the Butcher, who happened to be the chief of army staff of Nigeria, do you know what he did? He was the guy who actually endorsed the itinerary. He booked it. He was the itinerary officer for Nigerian army. He signed it that Nigerian Goodluck Jonathan bought all the weapons, delivered, and he took stock of them because it was his job to tell which weapon Nigeria has and where, which one they just bought, which one they've used, to who, given to. That was his job during Jonathan's tenure. And Dasuki was national security advisor to Jonathan. So what happened after? When Dasuki was arrested, Buratai was promoted. 2 years after Buratai became chief of army staff of Nigeria, there was a revelation that he bought two properties for his own family, his two wives in Dubai, two properties in Dubai. A military officer, for goodness sake, but multi-millionaire is abroad. The scandal. When Dasuki was questioned, do you know who responded on behalf of Buratai? The presidency of Nigeria, not Buratai. Presidency responded and they said Buratai is a rich snake venom merchant. He has a snake farm and he's exporting snake venom. For goodness me. Who do you think processed all those money for them? The CBN. When they wrecked Nigeria economy in 2016 and they did this back trading, what they call round tripping, dollar round tripping, whereby people were getting what I can go on and on and on. Okay, right. For you to know that whatever thing you are trying to find answers to, stop looking. You have people who have taken over. We have strangers who have taken over the country. They are strangers with strange policies and strange government. They reward terrorism and they punish those who ask them to stop terrorism. Yeah. Think about that. Yeah. If you are speaking anything out right now against them, you are a terrorist. I am a terrorist in Nigeria context right now. Yeah, by the definition. By their definition. And it's done by the government, not by the law. The law didn't call me a terrorist. No. The law says I can talk. The law says if I see anything that offends you, you take me to court. Yeah. It's a simple thing. If I see anything that causes any harm, there is law that punishes me. That is there. But they won't use that. That takes time. They need one that will dehumanize me, that will criminalize me, that will make everybody, or more or less ostracize me, that
Yeah.
will push me and make me become someone everybody needs to run away from.
From.
That is what the government is doing. It is called gaslighting. When you speak your mind, they gaslight you. Oh, look at him. Listen to what he just said now. Oh, he's trying to cause a trouble. He's trying to get people killed. But people are being killed still. People are being sent to IDP camps. Villages are being ransacked every now and then. The government is criminalizing those who are asking them to do the right thing. What answer are you looking for? Why are you're asking why from people who are perpetrating it?
Yeah.
They froze all the account of these people, criminalize them. They are not. See, the same terrorists they are talking about. Emefiele sat in a Zoom meeting with them. Dangote was in a Zoom meeting with them.
Yeah.
The Jimovia, all these guys were in Zoom meeting with these terrorists. They are now freezing their account. They were trying to bribe them.
To persuade.
When they couldn't do that, they came back. And they even did it in so much illegal way that they froze the account 2 weeks ago. And only about 5 days ago, the CBN decided to approach court to take a court order for something they've taken 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm.
Right? And CBN, it now came out that CBN approached the court, not the court, they approached the judge who was sitting down in his own house, and they said, we need to freeze this account because we are tracing them to terrorism. For goodness me, all the money in those accounts, they are not up to $100,000.
Yeah.
Guys were convicted of transferring nearly $1 million through the same CBN banking system in Nigeria, and you are asking why? That is your answer. Because they are the terrorists.
I mean, the most appalling part of it is that this can only remind you of nothing but dictatorship. Okay, I don't want to say we've been fortunate to live through the period of dictatorship in Nigeria. It was an unfortunate experience, but of course it was part of our life. Okay, between 1979 or 1979 when OBJ came in and rigmaroled until they managed to give it to what's his name, Alhaji Shehu Shagari, and Shagari did his term, and this same man removed Shehu Shagari in that year. And when they removed Shehu Shagari, by military dictatorship came to Nigeria through him. Okay, and Nigerians actually suffered throughout this period, and we managed to go through every process until democracy came. You would think that now that we are in a democracy, if anything is happening, you will just go to court, sort it out in the court, and get things resolved. Okay? With all these things Maiyegun has talked about now, which is not just Maiyegun talking about them, they're out there in the dailies, they're out there online, you can find them everywhere, just in the domain. You can just go on Google, type all those informations. If you can pick any one of it, put it, search for it, you'll find them. Okay? So with all these things he has spoken about, I have not heard of one of those sponsors that their account was seized. Not one of them.
Because they are the sponsors.
Okay? Not single one of them have been seized. Not single one of those people that, sponsored Kabir or whatever they call that guy who bombed Catholic Church in Abuja, none of his account has been seized today, or the person that sponsored him. Or the group, the Boko Haram, the people that are sponsoring Boko Haram, they've not been captured today.
Do you want me to surprise you about Sagi? Yeah? Kabiru Shokoto is suing Nigeria now for illegal detention, for illegal arrest.
Of course they will pay
because
him.
Buhari released him.
Yeah.
Okay. So far so good. They have released over 5,000 repentant terrorists in Nigeria.
He did not just release them. A whole lot of them have been recruited into the Nigerian army and Nigerian police. Okay.
And the shame about this is this. They say those who fail to learn from history are bound to repeat them.
Same mistakes,
It is Buhari, only Buhari in the history of Nigeria, the military coup and all of that. It is only Buhari in the history of Nigeria that, that dethroned, overthrew a democratically elected government. There is no one else in history. It was meant to be in jail. It was meant to die in jail. But because Nigeria rewards bad behavior, you get rewarded. after 1985 when he got deposed off, right, by Babangida.
Yeah.
And for the first time, and the only time until now, that Nigeria went into forced recession was in 1985, when the economic somersaulted, where the price of crude oil at the time pummeled and all that, right? They couldn't kick the economy. The corruption was monumental. People were piling, they were packing money from CP, they were printing money for them to print out. Why the entire country was going through the hell unleashed by Buhari until Babangida came. Abacha came, made democracy a dream that will never happen, a mirage.
Yeah.
Who were those who were working with Abacha? Buhari. Who were those who were going after the activists at the time? Ahmadu Ali.
Yeah.
Gambari, the current chief of staff to Buhari.
Yeah.
30 years after Buhari overthrew a democratically elected government, it was rewarded
It was
with
compensated with
again.
presidency. A civilian
In a democracy. They came out and they said he's a repentant Democrat or a repentant dictator. Those who sowed the lie then, they are now enjoying the fruit of that, by the way, because everyone is suffering it. A system has taken over in Nigeria. A system of incompetence. We can sit down here and say our government in Nigeria or the regime of Buhari has turned to a dictatorship, but it was what Nigerians wanted and what they got.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
they wanted it, they got it.
Yeah.
But there's something we're also missing out. It is not actually about them being greedy and selfish and with what they are doing. It also has something to do with incompetence too. People tend to ignore that. We tend to blame things on, oh, it's because they are greedy. Oh, it's because they are thieves.
Yeah.
Even anything they try to say they want to do, they do them so shabbily. When they design policy, they don't know how to execute them or implement them in a way to the benefit of the people they wrote those policies for. Incompetency. The worst of Nigeria is representing the best of Nigeria. You will only get one result: failure.
Yeah.
Upon failure, there's something there, incompetency too. Apart from their selfishness and greed, these guys are incompetent at anything. Check it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Maiyegun. Thank you, Comrade Lawson Oluosage. So, an activist, Kenechukwu Okeke, has just filed a lawsuit against 50 people in Nigeria, including Pastor Sam Adegoke, Aisha Yusuf, Folarin Falana, also known as Fowles the bad guy, Davido, Tiwa Savage, and many more. He said the reason why he filed this lawsuit is because during the NSAS protest, he lost a lot of properties. He lost properties due to the looting and everything. And do you think the reason why he filed the lawsuit was because he lost his property, or there's another motive behind that, Maiyegun? Sorry.
Well, Kenechukwu Okeke wanted attention and is getting it.
Okay.
His case, he has no case, just like any other thing that the government is also trying to do. But Nigeria is a place that the more you look, the less you see. When they say the more you look, the less you see, sometimes the masquerade that is dancing so tirelessly in the public square, if you pay attention very well, the drummer probably is somewhere else too. But if you pay attention, you will likely hear, if you pay close attention, you will likely hear the sound where the drum beater is coming from. Nigeria is so messed up that Kenneth, who should have sued the government, Kenneth was alive when NSAS protest lasted.
Kenechukwu Okeke.
I prefer to call him Ken, but that would probably make him look like a responsible person, but he's a criminal, okay? So Nigeria, Okeke saw the peaceful protest for days. We all saw it. Okeke saw how the government and other politicians, agents of government, mobilized thugs in Abuja, in Lagos, in Osogbo, everywhere. We all saw that. Okechukwu, I'm sorry,
Kenechukwu
Okeke
Okeke.
happened to be, he claimed to be an activist.
Yeah.
Until now, nobody knows him. Okay, we call the likes of him cash activist. The people that only do it for what
money.
they will come back, because
For profit.
he should be suing the government
And not the
for not protecting the lives and properties.
yeah.
Protest is a legal thing. You have the right to protest peacefully.
Yeah.
Nobody should shoot at you.
Yeah.
Your life shouldn't be in danger, right? If you then do anything out of ordinary during the protest, the law will still take its course. If you are an assassin during protest, you will be arrested. You will be prosecuted based on that thing you've done, not because you protested. Okeke knows that, but he also knows Nigeria. He is a smart con artist that is about to burn himself, because immediately he came out to attack the wrong people. You can see it is like a trend. Okay, attack the victim, right, and defend the real killer, the real people who committed the crime. And if you have noticed, it's like a trend. Everyone is blaming the NSAS protest and the protesters for all that happened, even though they were all alive when the whole thing escalated. And how the NSAS protesters decided that, okay, we're going to leave the streets for you. And they left the streets since then, from 23rd of October, from 21st of October, they left the streets immediately after the Lekki killing. They said everybody should stay away. It's no longer safe. The facts are there. But the likes of Okeke knows that they will call him. If he gets a court judgment that says all the people who are, the 50 people they sued, all they need is just one court judgment, just one court order, right? People who will not take him serious are going to regret it. You know what's going to happen? They're going to get a judge that's going to give him a verdict or something that will mandate all of them to appear in court.
Right.
Okay? So that court is going to award him a sort of a judgment that will say, if those people don't pay that, you see, we're all talking about it now, it's looking like a joke, right? It's not. He knows what he's doing. So once he gets that judgment, now everybody on that list will have to find a way to break themselves out of that list. Now, say you that you have to attend on how to get yourself out of a list that says you have committed a crime. You owe a fine. They may come and say, okay, they award a penalty of 1 billion to all the 50 of them to pay to Okeke. People will laugh until they begin to pick them up. Until many of you are no longer able to go to work. Until you, artists, you are unable to go anywhere to do anything. Sure, you will not go back to that court and say, okay, I'm here. What should I do? It is just to destabilize everyone. When you are going through that, you will get time to go and protest again. No. When they freeze your account and you are unable to make withdrawal, if they call you for protest again, like even if you can manage for some time, it will get to some point that you will know money that's supposed to come into your account won't come in. Those of you who have private businesses that you run, apart from all these things, they will disturb and destabilize your life. And they will use the legal way as well. So by the time everybody is running from one court to the other, when they say NSAS, you will just make sure and tell them, I beg, don't ever call me again in your life.
So you have something to say.
I think the biggest problem is Nigeria today is I think we're suffering from something the psychologists call Stockholm syndrome. Okay, Stockholm syndrome is a disease where the captor is falling in love with the person that captured you. Okay, you are in prison. You are being kept in a place. They give you
captive loving their captor.
Yeah, of course, the captive
slave loving their master.
The slave loving their master. That's the problem we have in Nigeria, because in Nigeria today the people, according to what he said, this guy Kenneth or whatever his name is should be suing the government who, out of negligence, allowed the Nigerian police or SARS in the first place to kill innocent Nigerians without anything, without trial. Right. Okay? As a human, you have the right to live. You have the right to your life. That's the first right any human have. And as a government, you have the right, the responsibility to protect my life. That's what makes you a government. My life and my property, those are the first responsibility of every government to protect. So the irresponsibility of the government was what led to youths coming to the government to say, please end this SARS so they can stop killing us. Okay? And if you watch out the trend of this protest, it lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About the 6th or 7th day, or from the 5th day, we started seeing jeeps.
Yeah.
Unnumbered jeeps with no number,
No plate.
which is no plate, which is normally used by the SSS or
DSS.
DSS or whatever they want to call their names. They started using it all around Abuja to drop towels. That was where the mayhem started. Nigerians were protesting with rights. They were going everywhere asking for their right. Government, stop these people. We don't want these people on the streets because they are killing. I mean, how can the government, be paying your salary and you're killing citizens? You just capture somebody, not even capture, you just stop somebody, ask him about his phone. This phone I'm using now, if I use this in Nigeria, I become a Yahoo boy.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Okay?
Automatically,
I
yeah.
become a Yahoo boy. This is the same phone, if not bigger than this one that my son uses. My 18-year-old son uses something bigger than this one. He's never worked in his life. He's a student, I bought it for him. But if he goes on holiday in Nigeria, I will have to buy him a 3310.
A smaller one. Yeah.
3310, not a smaller one. 3310 where he will have no access to internet, so that somebody will not call him a Yahoo boy. Because I want him to come back to his education with his life. I don't want him for the government to waste him because he's going to visit Nigeria. Okay, so Kenneth should be suing the government for their negligence, for their inability to protect lives and properties of Nigerians. Not suing Nigerians who are coming to ask the government that please protect us. That's what the protest was about.
Yeah.
It was a demand. They were not destroying anything. It was the government who were dropping those people all around the streets, and it was those touts the government brought into the protest that started destroying. At a point in time, if you watch the trend in Abuja very well, they started, some people started coming on the street with sticks to hit the protesters. Then at a point in time, they set fire on a number of cars.
Yeah, we also saw the video.
In Abuja. Go check it on the internet. Everything is there. So why are they pretending like they don't know? We live in a global world just now that everything you do just now, what this very interview we're having just now, could be viewed by the president.
Yeah.
Every single word I say can be zoomed into and checked if there's any false accusation there. Okay? And you find every evidence online.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for any Ken, if he knows Alan is a lawyer.
Yeah, he is.
Even though in his days in school, I learned he stole a phone. Okay, so he stole a phone. So I don't know if that is true or not. Allegedly, he is a thief as well. Allegedly, he stole a phone somewhere. But these people who are protesting or who were protesting are not thieves. They are citizens requesting for their rights.
Yeah.
Okay, so he should direct his anger or his frustration somewhere else. But of course, as we know in Nigeria, he might not be doing this. The drummer boy might be sitting in the corner and he's just dancing to the tune.
Probably. Thank you very much. That is a lot of explanation right there from Maiyegun and Comrade Lawson Oluosage. I remain your host on Explain This. My name is Zainab. See you next time.
wow. People wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, na 500,000 they go sama us, call am hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people wey dey spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo yo.
Even in Katsina, just recently, Katsina State, where Boko Haram comes from, Boko Haram State, the bandits have ransacked the entire state, ruined the entire state. The governor of the state even tried at some point to pay almost 500 million naira to bandits so that they will not kidnap people again. They will stop all the, all they are doing. There is no negotiation with them. There is no declaring them as terrorists right now. They even kidnapped over 25 young girls. Just last week, they kidnapped over 25 young girls. The Daura Secret Service, DSS, they are unable to detect that until it happened. Even they couldn't rescue them until the parent of those children paid 6.6 million naira to the bandit who kidnapped their children. Now, when they released them, guess who decided to go and do photo op? Your government. The Janjaweed APC government. They decided to go and do photo op, took pictures with them that the children have been released. But they refused to tell you that the parent of the children paid how much? They paid over 6 million naira to free their children from the hands of bandits. As I speak to you right now, hundreds, if not thousands, of northerners are in the hands of Boko Haram, in the hands of the ISWAP, in the hands of the bandits, and in the hands of Buhari's brothers and sisters from Libya. This is what is going on in your country. Terrorists are being compensated. Activists are being hunted down. And they want that to look normal. And when you listen to these criminals who support and defend them, or these illiterate who defend them at most, and you ask yourself, is it too much to ask your government to stop those killings? As I am right now, I, Maiyegun, is considered enemy of Nigeria according to the terrorists in Nigeria in charge of government. Now let me tell you what has happened, in case if you have no clue yet. If you are looking for those sponsoring terrorism, don't look further. It is your government. And the way to find out is this. You will realize that in Nigeria today, right, you asking the government to stop terrorists from killing young people or killing people in Nigeria, you is a threat to government. But if you are holding a gun right now, and or maybe you've managed to wreak havoc in different parts of the country, it is easier for you to get amnesty. Soldiers will not shoot at you and kill you, especially if the order from above says esprit de corps, esprit de corps. You are our PK. We are all together, right? Except if they say you are not theirs. That is when their soldiers will come and shoot you and they will say they've killed a terrorist. But you know that the real terrorists are getting paid cash. They are getting paid, given so much coverage by the same people who are now going after arresting young people all over the country, especially the southern part of Nigeria. The reason why I'm actually really angry right now is this, that we still have people who claim to be educated and they watch this barbarity go on. You watch criminals who presented themselves as honorable men and women, criminals who are actually like marketing and trading away lives of young people. Your bank is compromised. Your government has been hijacked, completely taken over by terrorists that have nothing, absolute nothing in common with you. Whether you are an Hausa or a Yoruba or an Igbo man, whether you are living in the north, a Middle Belton, an Ijo man, a Juku man, listen, they are listening very good, okay? That you are an APC member or a PDP member, a Christian or a Muslim, or you belong to any of those caucuses they put together, you are just a waiting sacrificial lamb. They will sacrifice you like they have been sacrificing everyone that they could since. Because the only thing that can stop them is when you take power away from them. As long as they control power, the leverage of power, you will all be or remain the pawn on their chess table. It will remain so. And you will continue to ask yourselves, who are those sponsoring terrorists? Why can't we end the Boko Haram? How can you end something that you are funding? How can you end something that is working in a way in your favor? You are killing people. CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, Emefiele, you are supervising the killing of young people, young and old. You are supervising the killing of the lives of the young and the old in that country. Economic war that you declared on Nigerians. The economic war has wreaked enough havoc. More people are now poorer in Nigeria. Why the jihadi criminals are shooting at people, kidnapping and beheading people, Emefiele, Godwin Emefiele of CBN of Nigeria is collaborating with the elite in Nigeria, doing what they are doing overwork, like they are working overtime to ensure that poverty, as it is, economic strangulation of the young and the old in that country will never cease. And you know why? You know what they do. Dangote, the same Aliko Dangote, that enjoys all manner of subsidy you can think about. All manner of subsidy. Dollar subsidy, pound subsidy, fuel subsidy, tax subsidy, importation subsidy, exportation subsidy, some level of preferences here and there. They worked and they did so well, with Emefiele. So far so good to bring about the calamity, the dwindling, the strangulating economy that many of you have suffered from, and you are still going to suffer more. By the way, it is just like when your suffering is doing press up. It's like when they say your suffering is actually on its journey down to your address and it's just there in the shower. It's not even yet in the car, and whatever they have done to you right now is simply a warm-up to what they are still going to do. And that is why social media law, social media bill becomes prevalent for them. To them, they needed something. They needed a tool to shut you up forever when the Armageddon begins to come and unravel in Nigeria. Emefiele is dangerous to Nigeria. Emefiele is dangerous to you as you call yourself a Nigerian. Emefiele is dangerous to humanity, and you should know that. They brought about round tripping that killed hundreds of thousands of businesses. People lost their jobs. Guys, when they came in, it was only 13 million Nigerians officially. They said they had no job, even though some of you are working like you had job when you didn't have any, by the way. But however, even with that your tiny job you had in 2015, you could still probably give your family a treat at Christmas, because then a bag of rice was just 7,500 naira. Remember, until when they came, and when they came, you know what it is today. With your 7,000 or with your 20,000 naira minimum wage, you know what you can get. They turned many of you to beggars. They turned you to social media animagiris. They turned you to Facebook animagiris, begging to survive. You didn't think about that. You didn't think about the war, the economy war they unleashed on you. People's businesses were destroyed. People's livelihoods were destroyed. People's lives were destroyed. Remember when people were jumping down the Third Mainland Bridge because of the economic strangulation unleashed on them by the CBN, by the Nigerian custom? Ask those who are businessmen in Nigeria, who are now, God bless their souls, who are now more or less paupers because Buhari came to power. They even blamed them for that problem. They said, oh, well, you are poor because you had no access to free money anymore. Oh, it's because you are PDP. People who have never joined politics, people who have been doing their legit businesses here and there before these janjaweed criminals came to power. They took everything away from you, right? Small boys and girls from Daura, small boys and girls from their, terror-infested north. They started, they made them up, by the way. Can you believe that? the round tripping of Emefiele from May 29, 2015 killed Nigeria. But they told you that it was the looting that killed Nigeria. What did they do? Right? People from Daura and people who are loyal to Boko Haram, the lifeless breathing mannequin from Daura, they came back and they said, yeah, I submitted Form E4, Form C4 in 1984 when dollar was just 70 kobo to $1. Oh, I submitted a Form C4, see this blah 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 nonsense to exchange money in 1986 when dollar was just to $1, when naira was just 7 naira to $1. Guess what? When they killed the economy and they made an average businessman or woman, remember Nigeria economy relies more on importation. Even though if they lie to you that they are doing one economy rejuvenation and blah blah nonsense, they are not doing anything, by the way, right? So they told you that in 2000 and those who are actually doing businesses importing into Nigeria, you know what they did to them? Their dollar jumped, naira jumped from 195 naira. I won't forget that. I know that Stockholm syndrome is real, and I know that some of you are quick, you are suffering from what is called selective amnesia. Okay, you deliberately choose to be dumb and stupid, and I understand. I respect you for that, because when I see, like I do tell people, the people I fear most are the foolish people. They say fear foolish people in large numbers. When you see foolish people in large numbers and you are not afraid of them, do you know they can elect a president and there is nothing you can do about it? And this is why I said I respect your foolishness and I respect your stupidity. But you know what they did? They moved naira from 190 naira, 190 to 195 naira. It jumped back then to 360 naira to $1. And at some point, so many businessmen had to buy their own. Even at that, it wasn't even available. So they had to buy their own dollar, exchange then, to process their own importation and all of that at the rate of 500 naira to $1. Imagine when you place order in January 2015 and then election happened in your country, and before you know it, a Boko Haram became president. And when Boko Haram became president, the Janjaweed took over everywhere, and all of a sudden Nigeria happened to you. May Nigeria never happen to me in my life again. In my life, that would be the worst thing to happen to anybody who has any humanity. May Nigeria never happen to those of you who love Maiyegun. There are people that Nigeria happened to. They weren't expecting it, but it happened. What happened? Their businesses, some of them even abandoned the businesses abroad. Because what are you going to do? The amount you paid for this particular importation has tripled. Now, if you have to pay to import it again, you know that you are gone. You are gone for good. Banks were running away from businessmen, to the point that banks in Nigeria were begging private individuals for dollars because they could get it from CBN, Emefiele CBN. You, genuine business owners, you are struggling, looking for black market. They say, Baba, call me, when do you get dollar? Baba, have you heard anything? Businessmen, people who are dealing with millions of dollars of businesses, they became beggars. They were now going and some of them were changing their names to Abdullahi. Some of them suddenly became sudden overnight Muslims. They started wearing babariga because they needed someone to parley with, or else your business would die. Many businesses died. Many people never recovered. They will never recover. Those of you who have weathered the storm for a while, your own is coming. Wait for it. They needed a law so that when your own come and they take your business away, they take your life away or take everything around you away. When you want to protest and fight that, they needed something to say you are mad. Who told you to protest? Or you are shooting for leg, shoot the left leg. If they say shoot the second leg, he's still complaining. It's coming to you. It's a matter of time, and it is gradual. What do you call it? This thing doesn't recognize you in any way, whether you are a PDP, whether you are a APC, whether you are a Muslim, or you are a Christian, or you don't even get any religion like Maiyegun. If they grab you, they won't ask you. If na bandit hold you, they won't ask you whether you are Hausa or Igbo or you are anything. If the project is about someone to cut his head, when they grab you, it doesn't matter where you come from. If you like, speak Fufude. If you like, speak Hausa. If you like, speak Arab. If you like, speak in tongue in Arabic. they will still cut your head if the project is to cut your head. But if the project is just to shoot you from behind, they will still do it. And that is where reality should be setting in for everybody who might want to stand up at any point in time to say, well, Maiyegun, it's not that bad. Don't blame that one. Don't blame this one. Do you know the only people you shouldn't be blamed and the only people that should or should not be blamed? They are those who are dead already. Your brothers are piling, they are teaming up with these criminals to take away whatever belongs to you, and they will do it so smoothly, even with your own, with or without your support. But maybe we shouldn't even give the support in the first place. That's what you should be taking away, because they will tell you, with or without your support, they will do what they will do, as they've always done. So, where do you come in? Where do we come in? You and myself. Where do we come in all of this? We should appreciate all, at least we should appreciate those who are standing up, not for themselves, but who still have the opportunity to speak up and say, listen guys, no matter what the propaganda is, no matter how much war they wage on this social media to try to silence us, this is the only weapon, this is the only platform that genuinely give it to you undiluted. And the likes of Emefiele, they are doing everything. The likes of Emefiele, the likes of Dangote, the likes of Ovia, Jimovia, the likes of all this Elumelu and co, their job is to ensure that we all remain in that servitude. Nigeria breaking up of Nigeria or not, these are the elements, these are the establishment, these are the criminals that will make it difficult for you to do that. And because they control everything, they can use it as they wish. That is where you come in. Should you, by any means, continue to fall for the lies that they exhume all the time? Do you really think it is ideal to continue to find excuses for them? For example, well, what do you want him to do? He needs to do whatever he's told to do. Really? He needs to do what he's told to do because he can get away with it, Abi. They destroyed Nigeria economy. They destroyed people's lives. They have stolen more than you can ever account for. And even upon that, they have stolen your right to question them. Who does that? Why should you be comfortable with that? I won't be. Now, people are put under what is called no-fly list. Accounts are being frozen. Many other people are being arrested. Arrested simply because the system feels like they are using what is called, they are using what is called the freedom that is not regulated. So they need to regulate it. Not because they have anything to add to all the conversation, right? So they won't want me to say this to you directly. So when they say who are those sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, take my word for it. Yes, take my word for it. I have given you instances. If CBN can investigate bank accounts for terrorism, NSAS protest, and NSAS protesters who were transferring 5,000, 2,000, 1,000 to people to be able to have a data to use on social media, CBN is investigating accounts with how much? With 10,000, 20,000 naira, 30,000 naira of 20 people. Put all of the money in those accounts together, all of them, put them together, they will not be up to 10 million naira. That is what CBN says is investigating again. Is investigating for terrorism. How long do you think this madness is gonna last? How long? I'm going to tell you this. It's not going to last for too long. The longer it lasts depends on how much you can endure. People are going to be more people are going to be arrested anyway. The same CBN will ensure that those who are going to raise eyebrows are well paid. Those who are supposed to speak up against insecurity in the north. Can you see them? Can you see how they are kind of all together blaming the NSAS protest? We are just waiting now for them to blame NSAS protest for Boko Haram, because they will do that too. They are already blaming social media for insecurity. Incompetent criminals. They are. So when they ask you, who are the sponsors? Sorry about that. I think you should check the audio from your own end. Babati. Thank you very much. So the audio is fine from this end. I'll say you should do that from your own end. By the way, one sec. Anyway, so when they say who are the sponsors, just don't stop fretting. Stop, you know what I mean? Stop looking elsewhere. It is your government. And as we have it, yeah, you can say confidently that the CBN of Nigeria is their bank. When they need money, when they want ransom money, when they want any payment at all, under different, these guys and what have you, CBN will get that. Because your CBN that is now investigating terrorism says the NSAS protesters are being investigated for terrorism. A joke, right? But I'm going to say this. Do not look further. If they ask you, who are those sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria? Who are those funding terrorism in Nigeria? Just be rest assured that it is your government, and CBN of Nigeria is their bank. The Nigerian army, who has been given over 4 trillion naira to combat terrorism, to end bandits and the rest of them, they have been unable to end terrorism in Nigeria or in the northern part of the country, but they have managed to create more armed terrorists in the north. They are not sending their soldiers after them. They are sending soldiers after Biafrans, after IPOP, after NSAS, peaceful protesters. They are sending them after bloggers. They are sending them after social media or influencers, as they call them. What does that tell you? Terrorists are roaming free. They are getting pardoned. They are getting rewarded and compensated by your government. They are getting rehabilitated into the system, despite the monumental crime they've committed. They are enjoying all that privileges, while those asking government to end the insecurity are being tried for a crime they didn't commit. I'm going to see you later tonight if you can catch up, and that will be later on Art Talk with Maiyegun tonight. If you have a chance of tuning in, please do. Until then, stay safe and stay away from Nigeria if you can. It's an advice, not for everybody. If you can, please stay away in your own interest. See you some other time. Báwo ni audio yẹ?